Hello, one and all. Welcome to this edition of Kitz Corner. It's been a fantastic day so far. So let's get into the big story that's afflicting Justin Trudeau because people in his own party are even sick of him. Not just Canadians anymore. It's not just working class people that are struggling under the tyrannicalness of his mass censorship, the mandates, the post-COVID situation that we're still in at this point. Not only that, not the carbon taxes, but now just people in his own party are sick of him. They're sick of the embarrassment. They're sick of the lies. They're sick of the slander that is just poisoning the political party that at least pretends to pander for working class people, even though they don't. And they're losing touch with a lot of key battleground votes, and they lost a few elections, and now they want to conflate that to just how horrible the leadership roles are with Justin Trudeau. So, for example, this is from Post Millennial saying dissenting Liberal MPs preparing to confront Trudeau with a petition calling for his resignation. PEI Liberal MP Sean Casey publicly stated last week it's time for him to go. This is from October 20th of this year. And it says the number of Liberal MPs who have signed the petition asking Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to resign as Liberal Party leader has expanded to perhaps as many as 50 names. And there are plans to confront Trudeau at this Wednesday's caucus meeting about his political future. So that'll be this coming Wednesday, actually. The MPs have so far kept the names of the dissenting MPs secret, and the petition has not been seen by anyone outside the Liberal caucus. Trudeau remains adamant that he is going to stay on as Liberal leader and take the party into the next election campaign, which could come anytime now between now and October of 2025. 4 more cabinet ministers announced last week that they would not be running for re-election. PI Liberal MP Sean Casey publicly stated last week it's time for him to go in reference to his advice for the Prime Minister. Discontent has been building since the Liberals' by-election loss this summer to Conservatives in the one safe seat of Toronto St. Paul. Anger accelerated when Trudeau lost 2 more by-elections in Winnipeg and Montreal, including a Montreal riding once occupied by former Justice Minister David Lametti. Trudeau avoided attendance at the daily House of Commons question period in the week before the October break week, traveling to Laos. Because, God, it's hard work to do, be an embarrassment. Last week, Trudeau made as the last witness at the public inquiry into foreign interference and did his best to distract the public and media attention from his leadership woes. Although the inquiry was established from revelations for Chinese interference into Canadian elections, Trudeau wanted to talk about alleged criminal activities by Indian diplomats and claimed to have a list of Conservatives who he suggested might be disloyal to Canada. I have the names of a number of parliamentarians, former parliamentarians, and or candidates in the Conservative Party of Canada who are engaged or at high risk of, or who they, you can tell that he's, going downhill from this. From who there is clear evidence around, intelligence around foreign interference, the Prime Minister told Commission Counsel. Official opposition and Conservative Party leader Pierre Poilievre reacted with outrage, immediately issuing a statement that on X that accused Justin Trudeau of lying and demanding that he release the names of Conservatives under the influence of a foreign government. Prominent Liberal cabinet ministers have been in damage control over the petition and plan to confront with Trudeau. Finance Minister and Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland assured reporters that Trudeau enjoyed genuine popularity among most Liberal MPs. In any caucus, there is going to be a wide range of views. I'm absolutely confident that the vast majority of members of our caucus support the Prime Minister, Freeland told a Friday news conference in Winnipeg. Foreign Affairs Minister Mélanie Joly has also expressed her loyalty to Trudeau. So they're just doing damage control at this point because their careers are afflicted by this. And of course, there are going to be some people that are going to, kiss the hand that feeds them because they don't want to bite it. And meanwhile, the people that are ousting Justin Trudeau and calling him out and telling him he needs to resign, it really just shows the kind of arrogance that Trudeau has in his personality when it comes to being a leader, when it comes to being in the position that he is. Like, we already know he's completely lost it with the main focus of Canadians when it comes to, inflation and the economy. And he even laughs about it, how horrible his economy is now. He's not afraid to admit that, you can't buy a house at this point if you're a young Canadian. Groceries are enormously expensive. Hey, my economy is just so bad. But he never admits that it's his own fault. That's the ploy that he's trying to do, is he's laughing how bad the economy is, but yet he's the commander-in-chief. He's the one in control of it and doesn't do anything about it. But he'll laugh about it with Stephen Colbert. He'll laugh about it on podcasts, just how atrocious the economy is under his jurisdiction. And it's gotten so bad, and just even the embarrassing factor that he can't even lead his own party. He's not a leader. He is not a leader in the sense of actually doing benefit of the good and being a strong voice dedicated to helping your fellow man, woman, and child. He's not a leadership in that way. He is a trust fund child that was hand chosen by the WEF. He was cultivated by them. He was part of the Young Leaders Summit that arranged for him to become the presumptive, leader of Canada. And just having the Trudeau name strapped to him made him kind of this political celebrity, much like Hunter Biden, much like the Bushes, much like the Clintons, much like the Obamas. Once you have that dynasty in politics, you're able to get away with anything. And that's what Justin Trudeau is doing. He's getting away with anything because his family name, his legacy of his father, his father's policies weren't any better than his. He's able to get away with it because he's tied to that family name. He's tied to, the WEF. He's not concerned about being ousted. He's not concerned about his popularity because he knows he's going to get a position in power, whether he's in office or not. Because he knows who he's backing. He knows he's siding with the right people. And he's doing the due diligence work of the global elites of the WEF. That's why if you look at our policies when it comes to COVID, when it comes to foreign affairs, when it comes to censorship, when it comes to, it's amazing how similar it is when you go from Canada to the United States, to the UK, to Australia, to New Zealand. It's almost like they're operating the same exact way as they were told by some global institution. Hence why the WEF is a powerful structure. And it's amazing that in all this talk about foreign interference, which, yes, we should be having investigations and they should be releasing those names, it's amazing that we don't call out the obvious, real disastrous organization that has decimated the most out of this country. That is the huge influence into our daily lives, our structure. But we don't see it as foreign interference. We see it as collaboration. That's what the globalists want you to believe. It's collaboration. Countries just happen to align together. That's why they're pushing all these horrific agendas towards people that don't really even want it or care for it. But they want to bring that to other countries and demand them to take this agenda so that they can form power, so they can form control over those countries. And it's amazing that that doesn't get said in any of these testimonies. But being Justin Trudeau and being the embarrassment of who he is, because he just simply doesn't have the reaction of being a true leader. He doesn't have that, persona of being a confident leader. He's just the trust fund baby child, the what the kids call it, Nepo baby, that grew up to become the leader, just hand chosen, and everything's just being operated and controlled by people outside of him. Because basically, he's not a leader. He's not prime minister. Prime Minister of Canada is basically the mascot, whereas the real people that are in control are the corporations. It's the lobby firms. It's people that WEF that pander towards our parliamentary system and then blackmail us, or they bribe us, or they just full on force say this is how it's going to be or else. So it's a serious struggle. It's a serious struggle. And now the fact that Liberal MPs are calling out their own, calling out the hand that feeds them. If that doesn't show how unpopular Justin Trudeau is, not just with ordinary Canadians, but people within his own party, then this should be the biggest red flag to even the most predominant Justin Trudeau supporter, even if you have no idea about any of this. The fact that Liberal MPs of his own party are calling this guy out after everything that's done, even if you don't even know about the other scandals, this should be an alarm bell for people to wake the hell up, to realize that this man is unfit to continue his reign of terror in office. And that is why he's doing everything in his power to try to avoid certain conflicts, to push back the election, most notably to get pensions for his cabinet members, because after a certain period, their pensions kick in, and whether they're in office or not, they can kick back knowing that they're going to get a lump sum pension when people are working paycheck to paycheck. But he's doing that because he knows nobody likes him. Nobody likes him. But he wants to gain control because he's that Nepo narcissistic baby, that spoiled brat that got the taste of power, got that taste and then the spire of power, that wants to continue his control. And that's why you don't hear a lot of this in the mainstream media, because the mainstream media is also getting handouts by the government and you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you. So, highly, highly interesting stuff.